Hey everyone, welcome back to the last Alliance War video of the season. I'm fighting for the Alliance XMN, and we're matched up against 1, fighting in tier 2, and this is our winning in, meaning if we can squeak out the win here, that should be enough to squeak us into the bottom of Plat 1 for the season. So let's see what we have lined up for us. We're taking 4 fights here. Another decently light one for us. We're starting off on path 4. We're super familiar with this path. We have a Sorcerer Supreme lined up for us, and then we're hopping over on path 9, where we have a nasty Mojo on Window of Opportunity, One Eye Open, and then we're fighting Korg with Window of Opportunity and Empowered Immunity, and then we're ending off the season with one of my favorite fights on the map, Polka Dot Power, Stunning Reflection, and Stun Vulnerability Killmonger. 4 fights. Hopefully we can get through them cleanly. This is who we're bringing in. Mega Red, tried and true beast at rank 3, Sig 200. He's there to take 3 fights. He's going to take Sorcerer Supreme, Korg, Killmonger, bringing in Human Torch at rank 3, Sig 20, and he's just there to knock down that Mojo on path 9. And as per usual, whenever we're bringing a Mega Red, we're bringing in Sabretooth for that juicy synergy. So this is our first fight of the war. Node 10, Steady Build Up Fury, long distance relationship. We have a Sorcerer Supreme here. I think we've had Clairvoyant on this node for the last 2 wars, but this is going to play out fairly similarly. We're just going to let our spores do the work. We'll delay and slow our combos. And we know that Sorcerer Supreme gains power on her own. She doesn't gain as much from us hitting her, so we can be a little bit more aggressive in trying to push our damage in. But this should be a fairly low pressure fight. We're going to lock in our spores at the start, and then just try and build them up for the rest of the fight. She was a little bit passive there, so we lose a little bit of time to stay close to her. But we're over 10 spores now, and as long as we lock them in, we're on track here. She's almost halfway down. Maybe have to worry about her gaining enough power to get to her special 3, but doesn't look like that's going to happen here, and she's down. Less than 30 seconds. Pretty clean start to the war. Here we go, 3 more left. So we have a Mojo here on node 35 with Window of Opportunity. We're hopping over on path 9 here, and we're bringing in rank 3 Human Torch, and we're taking Dex off just to be safe. We're going to activate a pre-fight, and the game plan here is pretty much to not get cornered. And if you're going to do this fight, just honestly, just don't do whatever the heck I ended up doing here, because you're about to witness one of the worst, possibly in the history of the game, 30-second fights with Human Torch. I absolutely lose it here, and it's just an absolute clown show. Oh, so here we go, and this is pretty much when poop starts to hit the fan, and you're about to witness this absolute clown show of a fight. So first, I forget that I have Dex off, and I forget to Shallow Evade is heavy, and at this point I still haven't realized what's going on. I'm still trying to Dex it with regular Dex timing, so I've eaten 2 heavies so far. I eat a 3rd one in a row, and now I finally realize, okay, I have Dex off. I have to Shallow Evade, and I'm at risk of getting cornered. I get parried here, and I eat a full special 1 to the face, and I barely scratched him. SB1 didn't really do much damage. I eat a little bit of One Eye Open damage, but somehow, for some reason, Human Torch and myself were able to escape this fight without a death. Holy, that was an absolute joke, and I am super lucky I didn't give up a death there. So after the worst fight ever, we're hopping over to node 45. We have a rank 5 Korg on Window of Opportunity and Empowered Immunity. We should be super comfortable here, as we fought Korg a bunch of times. We just have to stay close for the first 12 seconds, waiting for that stun cooldown timer to start. That way we can lock in our spores and hopefully close out the fight from there. So I'm going to be taking a bunch of blocked hits at the start, just so I can stay close, build up some spores, just waiting for that timer to start. And I could have punished his 2nd medium right there. That's okay, he keeps throwing his hits to stay close, so we're able to keep that spore rate, keep it going. And I think we're over 10 at this point. So we're in a good position. We re-parry here to lock in the spores now that that stun cooldown timer on the top right is down. And we're looking really good here. We have 1 more opportunity to close in our spores. I choose to try it in heavy after this V2, and I missed the spacing. Get hit twice, but that's okay. The fight's over. Not too bad. Just a little chunk of health off, but that's one little potion. Finishing off the war on Node 53, Polka Dot Power, Stunning Reflection, Stun Vulnerability, Killmonger. We are super comfortable with this fight. We've done this a bunch of times this season and last season. It's a lot easier now that Stubborn's not a thing. We're just going to hold block, bait heavies, his second medium to get our openings. We'll stay close and let the spores do the damage. And the only way that we can lose this fight is if we get cornered. So gotta fight my way out of the corner. If I can, bait his SP2 over his SP1 so I can block hit him, just to gain space. I don't do a good job of that here in this fight though. Burning up a combat regen boost, just to mitigate some of the block damage I'm taking at the start. But we are stacking up spores and it's starting to do some damage. He throws his SP1, which isn't ideal, but gives us a chance to lock in our spores. And at this point, we're just gonna have to fight ourselves to not get cornered, which we're kind of at risk here. I need to nail an intercept here to get some space, which I do. That's huge. That should push him to his SP2, and this fight's over. We still have over 10 spores. We have tons of space to work with. We just have to bait another heavy to lock him in, and that should close out this fight. All we have to do is not get hit. And there we go. There's that last opening we needed. And this fight is over. Super smooth. We're undefeated against this Node 53 Killmonger. And apart from that Mojo fight, halfway through the war, I'm super thankful that I was able to get through this one without a death, even though we only had 4 fights. And the cool thing is, the Alliance, we were actually able to pull out the win here. And it's looking like we're going to be able to sneak in to the bottom of Plat 1, which is awesome. We've worked quite a bit in trying to improve in war, put in a lot of work with the officers with planning our wars and whatnot, so it's always really cool to see us have some success at the end of the season when it mattered. And thanks for stopping by. That's the end of the season. Catch you next season.